Hello everyone and welcome back to some more modded Minecraft. And there's been a long while since the last episode, but it's for good reason, I promise. And part of that reason is that I have done some major restructuring of the town. Basically, like I literally stripped out a ton of buildings here. So this is completely new. So before there was this weird building conglomeration here that, in my opinion, didn't look very good. It was too straight, too flat. It didn't really fit the theme of the town, right? So I replaced it with this abandoned stone building and a lived-in wooden building, kind of offshooting from there. This thing over here is incomplete. I'm not sure if I'll even keep it, just because I don't know what it's supposed to be yet. So yeah, it might get deleted. But yeah, there's this. I replaced the entire subway thing here with this massive wall. Again, I want the town to have verticality, and this subway thing it was not cutting it. So had to get a big upgrade. So another thing you might notice is there's actually villagers roaming around, and yeah, I made a villager farm. So one thing with towns is, you have two options. You can have your villagers like be really safe. You can light up the whole town. You can go like this everywhere, right? But it doesn't look nice when you just do torch spam and just stick lights everywhere. I kind of like having dark spots in a town because it gives it the lighting some more depth. And you can't get that if every single area is lit up. And I mean, you can't always spawn protect every part of town. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a hospital with a villager farm in it. So instead of helping the current population survive, I'm going to just have more villagers be born into the world, I guess. So yeah, it's just a standard villager farm with the beds. I got this design from Waddles, so I'll probably put a link to the video in the description unless I forget, which I might, but hopefully not. And yeah, I'm going to be working on this hospital this episode. That's basically the main focus, to just get this hospital into a much more pleasing state. And yeah, I can't believe I actually ignored this, but there's a massive hole here, and you might notice that like this hole is like insanely big. And so essentially what I did is I actually dug 50% of this out, right? And I'm kind of busy, like I have a life, right? So I ended up just world editing the other half because I don't have time for that, and it's just like it would never get finished if I didn't world edit it. So that's what I ended up doing, because what was happening is I was spending 7 hours a day mining this, and yeah, that was too much. So another thing I did is I texturized the walls using world edit. So there's certain things that you kind of have to make a decision on. It's like it was not worth the time to just do all that, because I had to I cut down part of a mountain that was here, all in survival. Then I dug half of this out in survival, and yeah, that was too much. But another thing here is I'll explain this area in a later episode, but essentially this is supposed to be where some of the lower levels of the town are. That's basically all it is for now. I'll discuss some more of the details, but the industrial area is supposed to be over here somewhere. There's going to be big buildings on all the sides, and if I press the map, you can see the shape of this thing. So I wanted it to have a very unique shape instead of just a square with buildings lined on it. So yeah, it should be cool. But I also made this little thing. It's got a pipe with water coming out, and there's also these spruce supports holding up a walkway going to these little houses that are right on the edge. Because honestly, this building was hanging off the edge, so it didn't really look right. And yeah, this building is actually mostly copied from this building. It has some tweaks and stuff, but yeah, it's very similar. And there's one other change that I want to go over. Basically, one pretty big thing that I worked on is the upper level of this area has been improved so massively. In fact, I'll actually use the road to get there. And the road is another thing I worked on. So I'll take the road up here. So I reworked the road. I gave it a new path, and I've reworked the design of it so it now has like andesite instead of a ugly block I had before. And yeah, I basically have these pathways going throughout. So now the town can actually be traveled um, by villagers, and you don't need an elytra just to go everywhere. So this is actually the upper level. So it's these hanging wooden trapdoor pathways held up by chains, and I got a couple of wires, you know, doing the lead trick with a snowman because they don't make any noise. And so yeah, it's basically like this is a way to get to some of these houses. Some of these will be interior decorated, others not so much. But yeah, you just walk through here, and I got a little farm area because, like, I mean, this town doesn't get much sun, and they need to grow food somewhere, so I have a little bit of farm area. And then yeah, I have more of these houses. But I'm actually gonna get the materials ready for this hospital area, and I'll get to work on that. So the first thing we'll need is glass panes, I believe. So I'm gonna turn most of these into glass panes because chances are that's all I'll be needing. And the reason I'm going for black glass is because there is a villager farm behind here, and I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to hide that. And so yeah, and one thing about the design of this hospital that you might notice is it's diorite and white concrete, and yeah, people have strong feelings about diorite, but I feel like when used in moderation, like I didn't spam it everywhere, it's mostly around the edges here, but when used in moderation, it can be a good looking block, and it's basically one of the few blocks that actually mixes with white concrete to create kind of like a broken plaster look. So I don't know how I feel about that. I might have to move the villager farm back one or do something else. But yeah, the reason I'm going with black glass is because it kind of hides a lot of stuff behind it, so it makes, yeah, it's kind of hard to actually see that, you know. If you weren't paying attention to that, I don't know, it might not be noticeable at all. So let me pillar up using these. But yeah, you know, in real life, most hospitals are white. I mean, and to be honest, it's not the building that fits best with this design, right? But I mean, I can't have like a black stone hospital. Just, it doesn't fit. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, we're going with a white hospital, and hopefully the design will stay this way because I mean, I kind of like it. It'll fit in better once I have bigger buildings here, and part of it will be covered up so that you'll see less of the white. It will be less dominating over the town, you know. But I really hope these villagers like don't die in here, because if my entire town loses its village, it's gonna be a pain to get them back. The only way I got these is my friend had the capturing enchantment, and that allows you to essentially kill villagers and get their spawn eggs. It's kind of brutal, but you know, it's the only way to do it without like torturing yourself with 10,000 blocks of minecarting them over and stuff like that. So yeah, and I didn't have any villagers near me, so yeah, that would have been a pain. But yeah, I'm gonna finish the rest of these windows. There's actually quite a bit, and I'll be back. Alright, so I think I'd finished the last of the windows. Let's go see and have a look. Hopefully this turns out decent. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. The black is kind of a nice contrast against the white, and you know, this is honestly not that noticeable. So I mean, I gotta hide the villager farm in there somehow. So yeah, that's not bad at all. Here, let me take a look from over here. Somewhere far away would be nice. Yeah, that's really not that bad at all. So actually what I gotta do now is, there's actually no roof on this yet, right? And you know, again, roofs of hospitals, they're normally just flat, you know, they have their what are they called, like air conditioner parts or whatever on top, you know, stuff like that. And yeah, I brought some stone. It's probably not enough stone, so I'm just gonna flatten this part out and just, you know, create a nice flat thing. And hopefully that will make it so that I can stick some air conditioners, exhaust pipes, and literally anything that goes on top of a flat building, you know. So yeah, I'll do that, and then we'll see how that looks. Alright, so we're basically done. And let's see. Okay, yeah, honestly, I think this gives us a nice template just to work on. I don't think the stone should take any attention away. You know, it looks like a flat, you know, hospital roof. I feel like it fits the theme, right? There's one thing though that is kind of bothering. I have to cover up this window evenly. Let's see if that actually makes it bad looking. No, again, yeah, like you can barely even tell that's covered up. Like if I didn't have Optifine Zoom, you'd be pretty hard pressed to tell the difference. So, and actually, let's take a look from up top. Oh yeah, take a look over the nice farm. Actually, we're not even high enough yet. So let's see. I like that. You know, if I put the air conditioners up there, and eventually I'm gonna have buildings here and here, and if you look down from those buildings, you get to see the nice top of that. So yeah, I think that'll be good. And one thing that I do want to see is like, yeah, this back is pretty bare. There's no windows or anything, but I think it'll be fine because there'll probably be an alleyway over here or something, and it'll probably be completely covered up by other buildings in this area, I believe. So hopefully that doesn't turn out to be a problem. If it does, I'll figure out a way to make this useful looking. And by the way, yeah, this path right here is only temporary. This is actually going to be, you know, a cool wooden path, right? So hopefully that turns out well. But let's see. Yeah, most of my villagers are just garbage trades right now. They're like all fishermen or anything, because I use barrels around the town, and barrels and composters, and they're just like, they're attaching that as their job block. So yeah, it's pretty funny. They're all useless. I think this is turning out pretty nice, and I got a layout of a couple of houses over here so that I'll be able to, just so that it's less barren over here and you see less of this mountain. And I'll have a road over here, and hopefully there might be a little cave area over here or something. So yeah, it's actually coming together. But I think this is going to be a pretty short episode actually, because I have nothing else to build. Most of it is just planning. Like I have to plan the buildings for basically every area over here. I have to plan what I want to do down this entire area. So planning is not really something you can do on video, right? Like it's extremely boring. So yeah, I'll be doing that in the next episode. This building has a cool feature where it's an abandoned building, right? And you know, for some reason abandoned things, they always tend to have like lights flashing on and off, you know, like some wiring is broken or whatever. And so once it turns night, I'll be able to demonstrate that, because this has a flashing redstone lamp. It like it turns on randomly once every while, because it's connected to a bee down there. It's pretty hilarious. It's just a random bee generator. So yeah, it turns on and off randomly, and we'll see that in a second. Oh, there we go. Look at that. And then it turns off. I love it. It's just like, this building felt pretty dead without it. So, you know, I had to add some sort of movement or life, and when the world is going down. All right. Yeah, this is why I don't really bother with the lighting it up, because you know they're gonna spawn either way. Yeah, run for your life, dude. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode, and hopefully it'll be out sooner rather than later, but no promises, because I have school to do. So, but yeah, I will see you next time.